Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jack Knives. And welcome back to Wrestling Month. What happens when you make an organization of women to get to wrestle in a new promotion but have it run by a drug-peddling cokehead? You get the Netflix original series, Glow. In 1985, Ruth Wilder, a failed actress, discovers a women's professional organization called Glorious Ladies of Wrestling, or GLOW for short, led by an eccentric drug addict director named Sam Sylvia. Ruth, along with her former best friend and rival Debbie, now go head-to-head to be the top women's wrestler, all while trying to learn the ropes of the wrestling world. Now, I would be remiss to not mention that yes, there was an all-female promotion in the 80s known as GLOW, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. And it was more comedic in style, more focused on the entertainment aspect than they were on the actual wrestling aesthetic. So it was more character-driven, and some things are, pretty true to form in the series. In fact, there's an entire documentary on Netflix about it, so if you're really interested, I would also recommend that. But as for the show itself, I like that it doesn't try to play too much into the whole goofiness that is the character dynamics and aesthetics. Sure, there's quite a lot of that, but it's not the main focus. The main focus is these women, each of them bringing a different personality and a different aesthetic and learning something new and getting to see the ins and outs of what it means to start as a wrestler. You have two main leads who are just struggling actresses who keep getting rejected, and this is kind of simultaneously their last chance at stardom and also kind of a out of nowhere thing, and it just so happens to both of their worlds constantly collide with each other, making their own lives worse. Alison Brie and Betty Gilpin are amazing in this series. They go from these justified bitter people to actually kind of almost like siblings in a weird way that doesn't feel too forced. As the series progresses, you get to know more about them and see the struggles that each of them have gone through and how it's affected them. Marc Maron was made to play a shyster booker in wrestling. It's perfect casting. Marc Maron is a hilariously morbid, smart-ass stand-up, and for him to get this role, I'm like, I could not think of anyone more perfect to play him, and especially one set in the 80s that's hooked on coke. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely him. I did like getting to see the cameos of the different wrestlers, and apparently a lot of wrestling was taught for the people in this production, and it's obvious. You actually get to see the techniques in which they use. Unlike the show Heels, which is more of a show, this felt like half of a fictional show and a little bit of an educational show in the way that it actually allows a non-wrestling fan or a non-wrestler to understand what exactly they're talking about and understand the dynamics within the ring and different moves and things like that, which I really truly appreciate. I feel that it's one of those parts of wrestling movies that they never really do, because it's not like, say, a baseball movie or a football movie where they pretty much anyone who goes in knows it's a football movie. But with wrestling, you kind of do need to explain a lot of stuff in order to truly appreciate what it is. But the show does it in a way that it doesn't overdo it, but it does just the right amount. It's also just a fun series in general because it has this cavalcade of crazy people in it, and each of the women in Glow have this fun, quirky, weird personality. It's really a shame the show got canceled because I think a fourth season to round up the series would have really, really helped benefit off of it. But for what it is and how the show is, it's honestly one of those shows that's a true fun experience for wrestling fans. And those that aren't wrestling fans to just enjoy a fun series. It's really just a really goofy, fun show. There's not really many other things I can describe it as. And I think that's kind of the point. The show is in the same vein that the real Glow is it didn't take itself too seriously. That's kind of how the show feels too. Just kind of doing its own thing and take it or leave it. I give Glow 3.5 out of 5. Have you seen Glow? Let me know in the comments down below, and come back next time for some more Wrestling Month.